Here we go.
No, I need you to participate in the class by being a good audience member right now, okay?
Hi, my name is Michael and my presentation is on trading towns. So let us get started. So what we can see first around here is
A country.
so what we can see about the town is why did they have walls in around the town? Well, this is because it's surrounding it for protection because invaders will attempt to invade, and the walls are what protect them from being invaded. And also, it's easy to pick off enemies from these top areas because they can shoot arrows down onto their enemies easily.
I can't but notice there's a country ball there, and it's our one.
So how long ago did this happen? So
Goddamn.
it happened around 1300 in Western Europe. Now, bear with me. Damn it. All right, there. Why did this happen? Well, it happened because Western Europe went open to trades to distant islands. They sent stuff like silk, spices, tape stripes, and sugar.
Goddamn.
Michael, he's
Oh, damn. I just stole the thing. Oh.
Now, what were guilds? Guilds were a group of people who worked in the same business. For example, if there was a baker, then he or she would be in a baker's guild. And work together. They're like a union, but they're just like a union, but that was what they were back then. All right, next. What were the ranks of the guilds? There were 3 of them. Master is the highest and best rank out of all of them. Master is a leader of a guild and has their own shop or business. Next is journeyman, who is skilled but not as good as a master. The journeymen are trying to get the master rank by proving that they are good at their job by the guilds. And finally, we have the apprentice. So, apprentice is the starting and learning rank. And they are not paid in cash. What they are paid in is something called room and board, which is like a place to stay. And the guild will provide them with food and shelter in advance. Next. So who was affected positively because of this? Well, first of all, we should talk about the serfs. The serfs were people that worked in lands, and they most likely worked most of their lives in there. But the reason why this affected positively is because they can actually escape there, and they can escape to a town, and they can get their freedom. But what they have to do is stay in that town for a year and a day without being discovered. But this was difficult because most towns were small. But some still try and they get their freedom. Another was the peasants. Why? Because hold on. If they were struggling for money, they could get a job that to support them and their families. And finally, the guilds, because the guilds, they can make their money off of these shops and businesses that they have. Now, who was affected negatively because of this? Oh, next slide. Now, who was affected negatively? So first is the Christians, because the churches actually prohibited them from handling money in such cases as banking, lending money, and money changing. Because they waste it through their donations. Now the most affected by this was the feudal lords, because the feudal lords lost their rights to control who lives in the town and could not manor courts because of the freedom law. And so altogether, next slide. Altogether, what changed because of this event? Well, the serfs that could have a chance to get their freedom because of this. And by staying in the town for a year and a day, it began the rise of the guilds to get businesses and shops going, and finally, it had the feudal lords less powerful because of these new freedom laws. Next. Quiz. All right, next slide.
All right.
First, where did the trades start? Nathan?
I know they had England with them. Like England was open to trades, but maybe India or something like that.
There was a certain place in Europe. Yes? No. All right. It was. Oh. It was Western Europe. They started. All right. Next. What were guilds? All right.
The guilds were like the system that where people would work in the business. So like there would be the baker, and then there'd be other bakers in the guilds.
Yep. All right. Next. What protected the town? All right. Judy?
The walls.
Yep. 4. What were the ranks in the guild? I saw it in Evan's hand go first.
Master.
Yes.
The shoot. I didn't know.
Nathan?
There was the master, the journeyman, and the apprentice.
Yes. All right. Next slide.
Wait, you said 4.
No, there were 3. All right. So I was gonna make another question,
Oh, yeah.
but I didn't have enough
Perfect.
time. So can you just click that link?
Oh yeah. Good. Perfect.
Are
All
we
right.
getting
it's a
Rick rolled?
Rickroll.
No, you're not. You're not. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. It's no Rick roll. Oh. That's what you got. There we go. There we fucking go. Finally. Now I can.
Bro, this is the only